That's nearly it by the sound of it. That sounds like it's over.
BBC Radio Foyle
and BBC Radio Ulster
with Gerry Anderson.
Indeed, the nice people have got it right. This is Gerry Anderson. Indeed, it's coming up to 29 minutes to 11 o'clock on this Friday. This is the last day before Christmas. I'll be here, I'll tell you. Thank you to John Bennett in Radio Ulster, and thank you to Susan McReynolds and Radio Foyle. We're all joined together, hands across the province, for, well, a wonderful hour and a half. That's John O'Leary, of course. That's a song called Don't Stop the Calvary, or whatever you call it. No, it's called Stop the Calvary. The best Christmas song ever. There's a man on the line with something to say about the music in this programme, I believe. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Gerry.
What have you got to say for yourself? Now is your chance.
We'll start off. I'll start by saying Merry Christmas to you and all in the studio.
Thank you very much, and the same applies to yourself from me.
Do you mean that?
Pardon?
Do you mean that?
I do mean that. Just, what do you think I am? Do you think I'm like the others?
Well, we'll move on swiftly.
You seem to have a bee in your bonnet of some kind, a chip in your shoulder.
Yes, I do. This is Complaints Day, I believe.
It is indeed. I forgot to mention that at the start of the programme.
Yes, well, I thought it'd remind the listener.
Okay.
I need to ask you a question. Do you know the difference between Alison Krauss and Dolly Parton?
I do indeed, actually.
And keep it clean, please.
I know the difference.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Well?
I know they're two separate people.
Right.
But when the two of them sing together, they sound like Pinky and Perky. As a matter of fact, sometimes Dolly Parton looks like Perky, but Pinky is Alison Krauss. No, they sound remarkably similar. I think what you probably mean is that they've got a peculiar vibrato. Both of them have that within their throats. And they sound similar, but I know the difference. I'd probably think that you're probably going to point out an instance where I mistook one for the other. Are you?
You're probably right. You played Dolly Parton the other day, Just When I Needed You Most, and at the end of the song he says, "There's a lovely song by Alison Krauss," and I was shouting at the radio.
I know. Do you know how that happened? Let me explain how that happened. You see, what actually happened was that I meant to play Alison Krauss's version of a song called I Will, and the particular CD compilation that I have, that is the one after Dolly Parton singing Just When I Needed You Most. So I played Dolly Parton singing Just When I Needed You Most, and I went, Jesus, that's the wrong thing. But in the back of my mind, sorry, may I finish? In the back of my mind, I was thinking about Dolly Parton, as I do often, and I was thinking about Alison Krauss, so I interstrapulated. No, what's that word? I juxtaposed the two singers, and anyone who's juxtaposed Dolly Parton will never forget it.
Indeed.
And I'd like to thank you for your speed for which you corrected me.
Well, would you be interested in rewarding me for my observation?
I'll reward you in any way possible, as long as it's within the law.
Hey, would you play the last part of the John Wayne radio play, please?
I haven't played it for a while. You're absolutely right.
That's right. And there's people, you believe it, there's people sitting on the edge of their van seats for at least 3 or 4 days waiting to hear Wayne giving your man a hiding.
Well, I feel as if I've let them down in some way.
Indeed.
Right, okay, I'm just looking through my box here. I hope I've got it with me. You see, I've got this flibberty-gibbet kind of a mind. See, every once in a while I become very enthusiastic about something and then I forget about it completely, leaving a lot of people hanging.
No, but it has been a very good radio play, and it's amazing the way they can condense it down into 2 or 3 minutes per episode.
It's excellent, yeah. I mean, I especially I like the guy who does the sound effects. Have you noticed when you're listening to it, whenever the horses are running, it's a man thumping an empty suitcase?
Of course it is.
Sounds no more like, see...
do you think that they employ somebody in that studio to empty the suitcase before he done that to create the right effect?
There's a man sitting at the side of the stage doing all the sound effects. I like that man. There's a man in Radio 4 does that, you know. I met him when I was there before I was thrown out. There was a man over there who does all that. A man sits there with coconut shells. You know those plays that they have at 2 o'clock that you can't listen to?
Yes.
And there's a man who sits and pretends to do things with saws and stuff, you know, and he does door slamming, and he's great. He's got a little collection of box of tricks. He brings it in with him. He's got all the Kent Little. I talked to him one day. He's completely out of his mind.
That sounds good.
Thank you very much for your interest.
Can I share a funny story with you before I go?
As long as it's not a joke.
Right, it's not a joke.
That's all right.
As soon as I tell you, the very second I tell you, you say that was definitely not a joke.
All right, then.
I heard about a chap last night who takes a microwave to bed every night.
Why's that?
Well, he can get a full night's sleep in 3 minutes.
That's a joke. Thank you very much for that joke. God bless you.
Goodbye now.
And a happy Christmas to you.
And the same to you, Gerry. Bye-bye.
Bye. I know a joke.
No, don't.
I know a joke about a girl went into a hairdresser's. And a fellow
Brady Rafferty.
And a fellow was on the radio. And
Brady Rafferty from 6 Mile Cross said, "Thanks for all the pleasure you've given her over the year."
Tell her I'll be up tomorrow afternoon. I know this joke about this fella who
Right,
was on
are you
the
playing
radio.
the John Wayne, are you?
Pardon?
Are you playing John Wayne now? Go ahead, you search for it after talking to Raymond. Why don't you get it out there now and have a wee play at it?
Would you like to rephrase that? Would you like to rephrase what you just said? There was a fellow on the radio the other day, and he was talking about this woman who...
Turn me off now, would you?
He was talking about
please?
this woman who went for a hair appointment, and she said she's gone...
All right, all right.
I don't have that.
Where is it?
It's upstairs somewhere.
Well,
Hold on a second, let me look. It may be here it may be here somewhere around. Yeah. I see.
Where is it?
I don't know where it is. I'm looking for it, for God's sake. Can't you see me looking for it? It's probably upstairs. Tell you what I'll do. I'll run up during the news. Right, I've stuff to do here. Go away.
Thank you.
Thank you. Listen, no, here, I want to tell you about this. This is a lady who writes to me, who is it? Elizabeth. And she says, my New Year's wish would be for you to have a chat with Nessie. Such a lovely lady. Nessie says that it's Sean Coyle's fault because he doesn't allow her on the air. I hope this is not true. Harry Castle talked to her on his Downtown programme about 6 weeks ago. It was a pleasure to listen to her. Can we talk to Nessie today, seeing as it's Christmas? And maybe old Scrooge head like yourself would probably find it in his heart to perhaps put me through to Nessie. After all, you won't let her talk to me. Can we do that?
I see no reason why you can't.
Absolutely. And Mr. Vivian Hughes from Dungannon writes to me, and he says, I listen to your programme each day with interest. I was in Birmingham during the summer, and who did I meet but Denzel Washington? He's a very nice guy, and I was even more surprised to hear that he loves Ulster fries. I asked him if he'd ever heard of Gerry Alderson. He said no. We talked about half an hour, and we shared a pizza with me, and he bought me a Coke. Could you please tell me the name of the Chieftains album that the Corrs are on? I want to get it for Christmas. Gerry, whatever happened to Mickey Marley? Please play White Christmas by Bing Crosby. We get a lot of people writing letters like this, disjointed, insane, crazed missives. Hello, Matt Nessie. Hello.
Hello, Jackie, or Gerry. Is that Gerry?
Yes, that's a good start. A lady wrote to me, and I just read out the card, said that I should speak to you for Christmas, and she said that Sean Coyle doesn't let you on. Is that true?
I don't know whether Sean tells me he's going to let me on, but whether you don't want me on or not, I don't know.
No, it's not
but
me.
I never ever done anything on you, only liked you.
I know you didn't, but you don't have to do anything to Mr. Coyle because he's like that. He's just crooked.
He is not. He is not.
It's not me, it's him. He blames me, you see. He's by the way, Nessie, have you got your radio on?
I've it turned off now, love.
All right.
It was in the living room and I'm in the hall.
That's okay. But see,
Sean
what happens
is a very nice person.
No, but
he looked after me when I was at your concert. I have still a video of it.
Well,
you remember the one I was showing you my leg?
That's right, yeah. How could I possibly forget? But I have to tell you that he lies to you, because what he says to you, he says that Gerry will talk to you now in a moment, and he leaves the impression that if I don't talk to you, it means I don't want to. As an actual fact, he doesn't tell me. He just doesn't come back to you.
Well, Geraldine's is bad.
Pardon?
If he does that, Geraldine's is bad. She promises me to put me on. And everybody gets on. That fella Michael's never off it.
He's never off it, is
And
he?
I tell you what I would like you. You know that wee man that gives you all the tips?
Yes.
That was on your show that night with the wee ferret?
Yeah, Geordie, yes.
Wee Geordie. Well, I think Geordie is a wee smasher.
He is indeed, you know.
He's a very nice wee man, and he's very sensible.
He's very sexy too, you know.
Pardon?
He's very sexy as well.
Well, I don't. That's great.
I've been told
so
that.
am I.
I know that, but I've been told that by
You
other
did
people.
not know it.
What, have you any plans for this Christmas to make it a special one?
Not really. I'm 87 now, Gerry.
You were nearly 97 there.
No, 87. Well, not belong to 90, but I don't feel it. Only feel 60.
Well,
and everybody says only look 60.
Well, the time I saw you was quite a long time ago. You looked very good to me. You looked far younger than whatever years you were then.
Yes.
And there's no reason to expect that you've deteriorated much since.
No, well, I look after myself, and I'm very lucky. I've had good health.
I'm the same.
And I've 2 good children. I've a lovely son and a lovely daughter, and they're very good to me. And 5 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren.
So what more does a person need?
At what more do you need? That's true. My husband, you see, died on Christmas Day.
Yes.
And it's sad, you know, but you have to get over these things.
So it's probably generally a sad time of the year for you then, Lee.
It was a bad time, but anyway, I've got over it. He wouldn't wish me like to worry about it, and I don't, you know.
But you're right, you know, with what you said earlier, you have to look after yourself.
Oh, yes.
I feel much better now that I'm down to 1 bottle of vodka a day.
Jerry, you don't drink me. I was surprised that you saying you smoked.
Well, I don't smoke anymore. Haven't been smoking now for a while, and I have to say that I miss it terribly.
I know you do. Everybody does. But, I mean, I never did smoke, but my brother smoked, but then he took lung cancer. But Daddy smoked.
Well, that's as good a reason to
He
make you
didn't
stop.
take cancer. He had a heart attack, but he was only 48 when he died. But in them days, I really didn't know what a heart attack was for a while, you know.
Until it was too late.
But anyway, Jerry, you enjoy yourself at Christmas.
Okay.
And I wish you and Sean and Geraldine all the best.
Okay, thank you,
And
Nessie.
God bless you all.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice Christmas. Goodbye.
Same to you. Bye-bye, love.
Bye. There we are now. I'm glad I talked to her. Right, a gentleman sends me an email, kind of one of those little email cards that annoy you. And he says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all at Radio Foyle and Radio Ulster. Thank you. And he wants me to play a request for Sam and Margaret Rappel in Carrickfergus from Ray and Angela in Belfast. God bless, he says. And incidentally, we talked the other day. A gentleman from Coleraine was very kind to offer us 2 bicycles, 1 male and 1 female bicycle for, not for children, but, you know, for kind of teenagers or maybe someone 10, 11, 12, 13 like that. Not little tiny bikes, adult bikes. And offer to give them away to 2 people who would possibly, you know, appreciate them more than others. Well, thank you for all the people who wrote into me, and I had to make a kind of an arbitrary decision, and I hope you don't mind, so I decided that 2 little people, a little boy and a little girl, should get these particular bikes, and they'll get them tomorrow, because they're arriving up here today, and the people, I've already contacted the people who I've kind of more or less decided should get them. And I hope the other people who did apply for the bikes aren't upset, because those of you who did apply for the bicycles and didn't get it, be rest assured that the person who did get it needed it just a little bit more than you did. But thank you for all your letters anyway. It's nice to know that 2 people, a little boy and a little girl, will have a bike this Christmas that they normally would not have had. So they'll be collecting them tomorrow. And thank you for the gentleman in Coleraine who donated those. He doesn't want to give his name. And that was good. Nice little thing. We did that over this last couple of days, and it was nice to be able to do something like that. Right. And thank you for all the people also who continue to send me cards. Thank you, Louise. Thank you, Bernie Cunningham up there in Hervey's in Donegal. And thank you all the other people. And I've got a special little... now, here's a sad little thing, which I think I'll do now in a moment. But let me do this first. A lady rang me this morning, a very interesting young lady, and to tell me about her brother. His name is Eamon Carton. Eamon Carton discovered that his father's uncles, 2 gentlemen called James and Edmund Carton, were killed during the First World War, and he discovered that he didn't realise he had these relatives, and he discovered that they had been killed, and he went to France, I think it was, and looked up their graves, and the 2 of them were killed in the Great War of 1914, 1918, and they're only 19 or 20 years old, and the young lady, his sister, asked me would it be possible to play a song called Christmas 1914, because at this time of the year they kind of like to think about those 2 people, even though they didn't know them, they didn't realise they had these relatives, but then when they did find out, it was kind of moving. So I'm going to play that now for you, just in 2 takes. This is a version by Mickey McConnell called Christmas 1914. It's from an album called Joined Up Writing. But before we do that, I've got another little letter here, which is quite sad and quite moving, actually, in a way. It says here, it's from Mrs. McAdam of Belfast. She says, I listen to your programme most mornings. I would like you to read this programme, written by my son when he was only 13 years old and a pupil at Model Boys School. Doesn't say where, but I'm sure you probably know it's probably somewhere in Belfast. In 1968. In your own words, I would like to share it with you. Sadly, in 1977, at the tender age of 23 years old, whilst he played lead guitar for a group called The Clouds, he was accidentally electrocuted. It was a tragedy so bad that I don't like to talk about it. You know, I kind of remember reading about that because I've seen that happen to other people. When I played in bands, that happens more often than you think. It's not always fatal, but sometimes it is. I remember seeing a couple of chaps that I was in a band with pin electrocutor, but somebody mercifully pulled out the plug and cut off the current. But that can happen. It's a terrible tragedy. I would like you to read it, and maybe you would tell me what you think of it. So this is the poem written by this lady's son, Jack. It says, it's called Peace. It says, turn off your mind, relax and float downstream. Forget your life and only live to dream. Lay down all causes, surrender to the voice, the path and direction are your own choice. Then you may see the meaning of within. Your mind is good, but your body is sin. But love is all and love is everyone, and where there is no life there is no one. There's ignorance and hatred on the bed, with news of war and sex our minds are fed. But listen to the colour of your dreams. Peace comes only in death, or so it seems. Oh, play the game, existence to the end, as the start of life, when both we were friends. Very nice. That's Fairy Tale of New York. That's featuring the Pogues and indeed the late Kirsty MacColl, who unfortunately died a couple of days ago.
Okay, Ethel Davis from Martha Moore. Oh, I won't be on a Christmas Day.
I'll be on Christmas
Day. No, he's not. He's on Christmas Day, but he's not really on Christmas Day.
I won't be on at all. I'll be here, but I won't be here.
He's on a tape, yeah, the rascal. The next day after Christmas Day is Boxing Day.
That's right. The day after Christmas Day is Boxing Day.
He'll be on Boxing Day, yeah.
I'll be on
Boxing Day. Do you want to ring in
Day.
Boxing Day? Oh, yes. Right, for a happy Christmas to Ethel Davis from Martha Moore. I think he'll try and fit it in within the next hour. Right, Martha. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
That's a happy Christmas to Ethel Moore from Martha Moore.
No, Ethel Davis from Martha Moore. If you could do it then within the next hour.
I'll do that within the next hour.
Your wee programme on Christmas Day?
On Christmas Day, there's somebody speaking in my ear who's not you.
Well, who is it?
I don't know. Look down there. There's somebody speaking in my ear. Christmas Day will be on Monday, isn't it?
Yeah.
I should be doing a special programme.
That you've already...
Yeah.
It's been recorded.
It's a special programme because I won't be talking.
Yeah. And is it the same music that you're playing today? It'll be on a Christmas Day?
Basically the same, yeah. From 11:05 until 12 o'clock. I hope that people will come along and listen to that.
Well...
Right, we'll be back after the news approximately at 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock.
92 to 9.
Thank you, welcome back.
BBC Radio Foyle
And BBC Radio Ulster.
with Gerry Anderson.
Thank you. We'll be here until 12 o'clock. If you want to contact this programme, the number to ring is 0845 9555 678. That number just left my brain there for a moment. I have to say hello to Jackie McCartney of the Royal Mail in Lisburn. Happy retirement tomorrow to him. That's from all his friends. And can I please play Stay by Alison Krauss by Emer Doherty? Sorry, for Emer Doherty. And can I also play The Guy Who Drank the Farm for Joe in South Belfast? And a Carrickfergus caller is looking for a baby. Sorry, he's looking for a baby Annabelle changing bag. That's it. A Carrickfergus caller... Why can't I speak today? A Carrickfergus caller is looking for a baby Annabelle changing bag. So anybody who knows where to get a baby Annabelle changing bag, give us a ring here at 08459 555 678. The time is now coming up to 6 minutes past 11 o'clock. We now continue with another part of our continuing occasional series called Wrong People Singing the Wrong Songs. Every once in a while we like to bring you a spectacular recording of someone who you'd never imagine would singing a song that you never imagined they would sing. This time it's a well-known Hollywood actor. Do you know Joe Pesci?
Sorry?
Do you know Joe Pesci?
Yeah.
Do you?
Right. I do, yeah, the comedian.
He's not a comedian.
Is he a funny man? Is he?
Not a funny man, no.
Right, okay, I'm doing two things at once here. Right, okay. Right, I'll listen to you and I'll ignore Gerry. Go ahead. Yeah, right, it's a peace walk. Yeah, in Balnahinch, yeah. Okay. At 12:30. Right. Right, from the leisure centre to the square, right. Okay. There'll be a carol service then. Okay. I'll pass that on to Mr. Anderson. All right now. No problem. All right now. Okay. Right, bye-bye.
That sounds like a peace walk in Balnahinch.
Eh?
That sounds like a peace walk in Balnahinch.
Balnahinch tomorrow at 12:30. It's from the town
from the square.
To the square, and there's going to be a carol service after that.
Yeah, great. You know who Joe Pesci is?
Is he? Is he the wee man you had on...
Pardon?
Is he the wee man you had on...
No.
On Anderson in the Box. No, the wee comedian man.
That's Joe Pascali.
That's who it is. Aye.
Joe Pesci. Do you remember Goodfellas? Remember the film Goodfellas?
I know. Didn't see it.
You think I'm funny? You think I'm funny? What do you think funny about me? What's funny about
What was Goodfellas?
about the mafia? Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, and Joe Pesci.
Right.
They were all mafia guys. He's a very nasty little person. He always plays these. He was on.
What was the picture about? You know, it was what?
It was about the mafia.
Aye, but what? What? What was it about?
About initiation rites in the mafia.
Oh,
About
thank-
people being made up.
Thank you. Now I'm getting somewhere.
And he was also in another film called Casino with Robert De Niro.
What does he look like?
He's very, very tiny, small. He's got a squeaky little voice like that. And he's always nasty and vicious. He shot a fella in the foot because the fella didn't bring his drink in Goodfellas, and he was buried alive, and they beat him with baseball bats. And in the film Casino, he did very nasty things with Sharon Stone.
Right.
And he's a nasty little person.
You know I don't go to the pictures.
I know you do. That's why I'm trying to annoy you by telling you all about these movies. Well, anyway, who would you think would be the last person who would record the Beatles' Got to Get You Into My Life?
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
Pesci. Right.
I've got it here.
Right.
You wouldn't believe that he would record the Beatles' Got to Get You Into My Life, would you? And
Oh,
there are
well.
listeners out there who don't believe me either. They're saying to themselves, why on earth? Or if you're John Bennett, you say,
Apparently,
thunder.
over a year ago, you read a story, or you had a lady on who told you a story about a pet owl. Could you repeat it, please?
Repeat the story?
Yeah, not the pet owl.
I have no idea. I have no recollection of that at all.
Well, that's what...
I'll tell her I can't repeat it because I have no recollection.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I can't
The lady
remember
said you
anything
should have because it was a wonderful story. I couldn't remember it either when she
Was
said
it, was it my story?
She doesn't know whether it was your story or you had a lady on...
I don't think it was
telling
my
on
story
air.
because if it had been my story, as you well know, I would have told it 5 or 6 times.
Yes, so she wants it, and I want you to tell it again this
I
morning.
don't know it. Somebody else will need to ring me up and tell me what it is because I don't know what the story about the pet owl is. Here's Joe Pesci singing "Got to Get You Into My Life." Woody, this is great. He can't sing at all. He's got that wee squeaky voice. I haven't heard anything like that for a long time. It sounds like a baby singing that. That's Joe Pesci. The drummer was obviously conducting a race with the rest of the band, judging by that. Although we didn't hear the end of it, I think the drummer lost. The Unemployed Poet is on again. What do you want?
Hello, Gerry.
Yes?
I want to hear a good man at Antiques.
I don't know if I am or not. You just said that. I have no reason to
Well,
think.
I have you've a lovely painting, haven't you, that you put away somewhere and it's worth a few shillings.
The one in
Now,
the attic?
This grandfather clock has been our generation for generations, you know, and it's the sister was winding it the other night and she winded it too tight and broke it. But I would like a little bit of history, and then maybe somebody. I need a specialist. I don't want somebody coming up, you know, with magic hands and ruining it.
What are you talking about?
It's a grandfather clock
Yes.
made by the New Haven, Haven,
I know how to spell
Haven.
Yeah, yeah.
clock company.
Spelled C-L-A-C-K.
Yes,
Clack.
now, it's CONN, USA. I don't know whether it'll be short for
It's
Connecticut or something.
It's
eh?
Connecticut.
Yeah.
New Haven,
Right.
Connecticut, yeah.
And it's a regulator, and it's the dates on it is 1817, and the other date I don't know whether this here is any importance, but there's another date 1853.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe some of your listeners would have a bit of history in that, and plus if there is a specialist out there that would be able to fix it. It must be the spring, no, the winding spring at the back.
Yes.
So
Well, that sounds like an interesting kind of a clock.
it is. Oh, it's a beautiful clock.
I know. I happen to know that there are a lot of people around here who kind of specialise in that kind of thing, or have got a deep interest in old grandfather. It is a grandfather clock, did you
It
say?
is indeed. Yeah, it's. I'll tell you. I'll explain to you. It's mounted on the wall, right?
Yes.
And it's a 50p shape on the top,
Right.
and it's like a spear at the bottom. And then it has the pendulum swinging. You know, when you wind it up. But it stopped at the minute, and I don't want somebody putting WD-40 on it and what have you, you know. And
No.
I'd like to get it fixed for the sister as a little of a, to stop her from worrying about it, you know.
All right. Okay. So that sounds like an interesting clock. So anyone out there who knows anything about that, where do you live roughly? In what area?
Antrim Road.
Antrim Road, so it's not too far away from mainstream Belfast.
Uh-huh.
So anyone out there who might be quite interested, would you, if somebody came and fixed this for you, would you pay them?
Oh, guy, certainly. But I'd want a wee bit of history of their background and what have you. I'd need to phone them, you know.
But do you want to interview them before they come
Yes,
and fix your clock?
certainly. I don't want this clock ruined. I've had too many things ruined by these so-called specialists who come out, you know.
Clock cowboys. Yeah.
You'd end up doing a better job yourself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like painting and decorating and what have you, you know.
Yeah, right, okay.
But anyhow, that's it. I have a lovely wee poem here for you.
Oh, excellent.
Because I was listening to you about the other day about castles and about people's gardens and all these material things. And this is one for yourself.
Yes.
And it's called It Will All Wear Away One Day.
Right.
Right. My mother set me down one day. She said, listen to me, son. I want you to pay heed and hear what I've got to say. Technology is here to stay, but even that will fade away. My love for you will never do, your father's too. Remember, son, never hurt anyone. Love your enemies as I have done. Never put your faith in anyone, but be kind to everyone. We are on the throes of change, but my love for you will never wane. The rich man has his castle, clowns, and expensive stones. The poor man has love and no home. The rich has monuments, the poor has memories. The rich man writes books about these. It will all wear away one day. Look at the sea, the way it turns sand to clay. Ivory teeth soon decay. Beauty and wealth will go the same way. Remember, son, what I have to say. One way or the other, you're going to pay at the end of the day.
Very nice. That's very good for you. Listen, there's a fella called Joe. He's on the line. Wants to talk to you about your clock.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello, Joe.
Hello there. New Haven clocks. New Haven,
I can't hear
they came from, right?
Hold on a minute. Why can you not hear him?
Because I've got your radio turned off and I can't hear him. So I'll have to put, and there's a feedback if I put the radio on. Remember you're saying I was shouting the other day.
Well, put the radio off and you should be able to hear him
I've
through the
got the
phone.
radio off. That's what I'm telling you, and I can't hear him.
Technical
I'll have to turn it up a wee bit.
Can you hear him now?
I can't hear a word.
That's
Hello.
because he's not speaking. Hold on.
Hi, I'm speaking.
Can you hear that?
I've got the radio turned on now. You'll get a bit of feedback. Right,
Okay.
go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe.
Hello, yes. New Haven clocks from New Haven, Connecticut. The first mass-produced clocks introduced in any quantity into Ireland about 1840 or so. They were actually imported by a company called Malcolmson, the jewellers in Chichester Street in Belfast, the shop that's still there, by the way.
Oh, my God.
And they're quite a well-known item. In fact, with your Donegal connections, you probably remember getting into many's wee farmhouse and you'll see a little mantle clock with a wee pointy roof on it.
That's right.
And
right.
those were all New Haven clocks.
Oh, my God.
And those were sold by what they used to call, years ago in the country, Sean Sears, guys who used to go around fairs, anywhere where they're selling sheep or cattle or horses, and there was a few pounds circulating, these boys were selling clocks.
So they were basically mass-produced then, is what you're trying to say?
They were the first mass-produced clock introduced into Ireland. And as I say, Malcolmson's are a very old company in May Street, or Chichester Street in Belfast, and they allegedly were the big-time importers. Now, the Ulster Folk and Transport Museum down at Cultra knows a lot about these clocks. There are a number of people. There's one guy in Newtownards called Alan McCrory, who has a shop in Court Street in Newtownards. He's a bit of an expert in clocks, and he might be the guy to point in that direction.
Are you writing all this down?
I've got it.
Okay.
And I'll be down there after Christmas at the Ulster Folk Museum.
That's good information there, boy. See that shop Malcolmson, do they still operate, would they still kind of deal with those clocks at all?
No, I think they moved on up a gear, if you pardon the expression, since that.
They're probably a pizza parlour now.
No, they would be very, they're the sort of jewellers now where the stuff in the window doesn't have a price on it, and that means if there's no price on it and you have to ask the price, you can't afford it.
But there's no price on it, you don't go in.
Gerry, could I speak to the man 1 second?
Go ahead.
He said, hello, how you doing? I never got
I'm
your
all right.
first name
Joe.
there. Joe.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you says 1840, this says 1817.
Yeah, but that was probably when the
1853.
company was started or something like that,
yes.
you know.
Uh-huh.
All right,
You know,
then.
that's like the 1910 fruit gum company, you know.
Oh,
Yeah. Quick, Joey Small. All right, then, that's good info. Thanks very much, Joe.
All right.
Thank you.
Gerry,
Bye.
Yes?
I've one more thing for you here. What have you got in common with Fred Elliott?
I cruise gay bars.
No.
What?
You repeat everything twice.
I do not repeat everything. I do not repeat everything. I do not repeat everything twice. Go away now.
Got ye.
Happy Christmas.
Same to yourself.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That's a pretty thing, isn't it? That's Bing Crosby, that's David Bowie, that's a song called Little Drummer Boy, with extended monologue at the start. Right, the time is now coming up to 26 minutes to 12 o'clock. I've had a lot of requests to play this album. I've been talking about it this while back. It's called Joined Up Writing by Mickey McConnell. I had another request to play a song, or more or less a monologue, called The Man Who Drank the Farm. I played that yesterday, but I'm going to play it again today because everybody seems to be asking for it, and people want to know where they can buy that record. The only place I know where you can buy it, actually, that have it in stock, as far as I know, is Golden Discs in Belfast. I think it's, is it Royal Avenue? Is that Royal Avenue?
We think it's Donegal Place.
Donegal Place, sorry, it is, of course. It's, well, Royal Avenue used to be.
A man found a child's bicycle. It's for a 5 to 7 year old, he reckons, and he handed it into Strand Town RUC station as in East Belfast.
Yes, when did he hand that in?
Well, I don't know, but it's there now.
Is it really?
Yes.
That's a marvellous thing to know.
Mm-hmm.
Nice of him to do that. Many another person wouldn't do that.
Right.
Is James Martin on the line?
Yes, he wants
I'm really looking forward to talking to him.
Yes.
Because he's very grumpy.
He's not a bit grumpy.
Is he not? Hello, James.
Hey, Jay.
You sound happy enough.
I'm not too bad, but here, I've got a wee question.
What's that?
I'll tell you what I was doing. I was in the BBC shop on Arthur Street the other day.
Is my phone in there?
I actually went in to see if I could get your new book.
Oh, you won't get it in there.
When's it coming out?
It'll be coming out next year, but it's not published by BBC Publications, therefore they won't sell it.
Oh, I thought it. Well, okay,
they won't sell anything belonging to.
But anyway, I went in anyway, and funny thing happened. They were playing music, you see.
Yes.
You know, over the tannoy, and it was a radio station they were playing, and they were playing Radio 2.
In the BBC shop on
Arthur Street. BBC shop on Arthur Street.
Yes.
And I said to the shop keeper, do you not play Radio Ulster?
Yes.
What do you think he said?
I think I know what he said.
He says we're not allowed to play Radio Ulster.
I know.
We'll have to listen to Radio 2. And then he says after Radio 2, we change it halfway through the day and we'll go on to Radio 1.
Yes, that's true. That's
now,
true.
Why are they not allowed to play Radio Ulster?
It's a crime against humanity, I know. But I have to tell you that I have heard of this before. Apparently in the BBC shop in Arthur Street, they're not allowed to play Radio Ulster. That means that they can't hear me or Hugo.
Well, tell me this. Is it owned by the BBC in London? Or is it franchise coming from Ormo Avenue?
Well, you see, as in the Nazi Party in Germany, they're only following orders. They're allowed to...
But where's the orders coming from?
I think they're coming from the bowels of the BBC in London.
Right.
You see, what happens is, there are BBC shops...
I find that incredible.
Well, Big Brother is watching you. You see, there are all kinds of BBC shops all dotted all over the UK. You see, and they have to have a standard policy. In other words, you listen to... You hear Radio 2 until 1 o'clock, and then at 1 o'clock you listen to Radio 1.
Is that when they change it?
No, do you know why?
Why?
Because the people who listen to Radio 2 are generally older than the people who listen to Radio 1. So the people who listen to Radio 2 would get up early in the morning, and they'd be out doing their shopping.
Right.
So when they're in the BBC shop, they hear Radio 2 and they say, well, that's good, I must listen to that when I go home. Whereas young people listen to Radio 1, they don't get up until 12 o'clock because they're up all night drinking. Now, by the time they get into the BBC shop in the afternoon, that's why Radio 1's on. So they try and catch everybody. But I have to say to you, am I invisible? I mean, what does Radio Ulster mean? Nothing?
But surely to goodness, like after all, you're the most listened to station in Northern Ireland.
You try and tell them that.
But I know that. I conducted a survey many years ago, and Radio Ulster was voted the most listened to station in Ulster.
Well, why don't you conduct another survey and maybe ask them whether or not they want to hear Radio 2 and Radio 1 in the BBC shop on Arthur Street, and whether or not people like Hugo should be heard.
Well, I'll try that.
After all, he loves everyone.
Well, I'm off next week, so that would give me plenty of scope.
I tell you what I would want you to do. I ask the people, do they think there's anything wrong? Just
think there's anything wrong?
Yes, that's what I wanted you to ask people, because I don't want you to keep it as an open-ended question. I've got a vague feeling that there's something wrong. It's been bothering me for a very long time. I want you to go out the street and say to people, do you have a vague feeling that there's something wrong? And see what they say.
Right.
I've never asked you to do anything.
Now, see what they come up with.
Yeah.
but there could be different answers, like.
That's what I'm banking on. You see, I've never asked you to ask such an open-ended question before. I just want you to go up to a stranger in the street and say, "Excuse me, I'm doing research on behalf of the Gerry Anderson programme. Don't mention the BBC because they won't like you talking about doing research on behalf of the BBC because they don't want you to do that." You say you're doing personal research on behalf of Gerry Anderson.
And do you think there's anything wrong?
Gerry Anderson feels vaguely that there's something wrong, and ask them, do they feel the same way? And if indeed they say yes, ask them what it is.
Right.
So this is what's called plugging into the pulse of the nation.
Right, well, I'll do that.
There are many
See what they
people-
come up with.
Yes, I hope you don't mind, because it's a tricky one. It's not something that I would ask someone to do lightly, because I've noticed whilst I travel around the province, and I do indeed travel quite comprehensively throughout the province, many of the major cities, towns, and indeed some of the small boroughs and hamlets, and I notice people walking around with an expression on their faces that indicates to me that they feel as if there's something vaguely wrong.
Right.
Will you ask them?
I'll ask that and see.
Okay, in the meantime, I'll sneak into the BBC shop in Belfast and try and get some information from the people, because if they realise that I'm incognito, they may tell me the truth.
Right.
Okay, in the
Well,
meantime, there'll still
listen,
be...
you're not on Christmas morning.
I am having a short programme. I'll be playing a selection of my favourite music.
Well, I hope you're not playing the music that you're playing this morning.
Well, it's more or less the same.
Because it's blooming awful.
Well, you'll get more of that on Christmas morning, so that's something to look forward to.
And you played that thing there half an hour ago about that 1914, 18.
Yeah, it gets on your nerves, that.
Where's
doesn't it?
the original?
I don't like the original.
But sure, you went overboard about it last year.
I was lying.
You fell about over yourself and you said, "I can't believe that. That brings goose pimples to my neck."
I must have been talking about somebody else's neck.
You did say that.
Probably the turkey's neck. Well, see, I was lying last year.
Here, and another thing too.
Yes?
I see you're playing Santa Claus again with other people's generosity. Why don't you come up with a few generous things and do something for Christmas?
I'm not allowed to dip into my pocket. The BBC doesn't allow me to do that. What they do allow me to do is be a conduit.
I think your pockets are sewed up.
No, they want me to channel other people's generosity and not display any of my own.
I can't believe that. Everybody gives things and you give it away and then you come across as if you're a big-hearted author.
That's what's called giving the credit to the middleman.
Well, it's time you give the credit to other people, Jay. You'll have to get your hands out of your pockets now and again.
Who's the original big-hearted Arthur?
Oh, that was Fatty Arbuckle.
No, it was not Arthur Askey.
Oh, I don't know.
Hello.
That was Hello Playmates.
Hello, playmates. I can't do him.
No, you can't.
Hello,
You're you're badly askew.
I know, yes. Well,
Jay, we're only here for a short time and we'll have to enjoy it.
may as well eat the turkey while you can, I say.
Life's to be enjoyed, not endured.
You'll be in your grave without giblets for a long time.
That's quite correct, Jay.
Happy Christmas to you, James.
And I wish you and your entourage at Radio Foil the merriest of Merry Christmases.
Indeed, and the happiest of happiest New Years to
Well, I
you.
might be talking to you before that, you see.
I hope so. If you come back with the results of your survey,
Yes.
I'm very interested to find out. Don't forget, ask him, do they sense, is there anything vaguely wrong?
I'll do that, Jay.
Okay, thank you.
All the best.
All the best. Goodbye.
Bye now.
Happy Christmas.
Bye.
Happy Christmas. Bye. That's Doris Day, Winter Wonderland. Before that, we had Peter Sellers. Speaking a Beatles song called Yes It Is. And before that, we had Mickey McConnell, a song called The Man Who Drank the Farm from an album called Joined Up Brady. Right. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Sorry for keeping you so long.
That's a long time.
It is a long time. I'm
Isn't
sorry.
it?
Who is that?
My name is Gerard.
Gerard. Good morning, sir. Same name as myself.
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Good man. I believe that you're a golf expert.
I'm not in the slightest.
You love it.
I hate it.
That's not what I am told.
You were misinformed. My love of golf has been exaggerated.
Oh,
Go ahead, though. Let me not stop you.
can you help me then?
I can help you, whatever it is you need to know.
Could you tell the general public or ask the general public if anybody out there can fix golf umbrellas?
Golf umbrellas?
Mm-hmm.
I thought when you broke up a golf umbrella, you threw it away and got another one.
No. I have some good ones that need fixed.
Well, they must have some special sentimental value to
Yep.
you. Which one in particular do you hold closest to you?
Wilson.
Wilson?
Yep.
What does that mean? What does Wilson mean?
That's the name.
Is it?
Yep.
And what is it? Is it the, what portion of the umbrella is damaged or indeed malfunctioning?
One of the stays.
One of the stays?
Yep.
Well, we have a lot of women out there who have the same trouble.
Is that right?
So one of the stays is gone, is it?
Yeah, well, I have 2 or 3 umbrellas with some of the stays gone.
You seem to have a collection of golf umbrellas.
I do, yep.
Where do you get these? Are they given out at corporate dues, or do you steal them?
Well, I don't think I steal them. I be given them.
You be given them?
Yeah.
By whom? By other corporate golfers?
Yeah, and by friends.
Mm-hmm. They seem to be terribly valuable things, are they?
Well, yes, I wouldn't like to throw them away because the covers are still good.
Mm-hmm. Well, what does it cost a man to buy a golfing umbrella these days? Are they terribly expensive?
Probably about £15.
Oh, woo.
For a good one.
Exactly. I don't know if there's anyone out there would... I haven't heard of any umbrella.
I used to have a friend who did it, but he unfortunately died.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you live in the vicinity of Greater Belfast at all?
Well, it wouldn't be a problem anywhere, really.
All right, then. Okay, I don't know if there's anyone out there who repairs golf umbrellas or not. It's not a thing that I devote a lot of time to be honest with you.
Well, you should take the game up.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
What's the problem?
I will die before I play golf.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm determined to go through my life without ever having played golf.
Is it right?
And when I lie in my grave, I will know that I have led a blameless and indeed useful life by never having lifted a golf bag.
Boy, is it dear.
Never having put my arm round the bank manager at the 18th hole and saying, what about a wee drink and have a chat about it? And never having to go up to Gene Fitzpatrick and saying, I think your swing's off.
You don't know you're living.
I know I'm living. I want to remain living the way I am. I don't want to be a golfer like the rest of them. But I understand and live and let live. I don't really. I've no recriminations to give towards anyone like yourself who enjoys a good game of golf, even though I do.
You think what it would be like after your Christmas dinner?
I have many's the thing to do after my Christmas dinner that doesn't involve a 7-iron. To be honest with you.
Oh.
And I indeed enjoy. I mean, I've always thought that golf was a good walk spoiled. You see, a person can go for a walk after his Christmas dinner, doesn't have to carry a bag and hit little balls about and dress like a pimp. You don't have to do that. All you can do is just go out and just go for a walk. Find an isolated country spot, just walk along, watch the hares and the rabbits and indeed the worms at play.
The last time I spoke to you was in Tenerife, and you were walking as fast as you could.
Really? Where was I going? Was I trying to get away from somebody?
Well, I don't know. You had a blonde hanging on to you.
Well, was I trying to walk away from her?
No, I think she was trying to hold on to you.
Yeah, well, that's normally in hot climates they do try and hold on to me. Yeah, I don't remember that now. Oh, did I strike up a conversation with you at all?
Oh, you did indeed.
Did I?
Uh-huh.
Was I wearing shorts?
No, it was in the evening time, and you were probably going out for a meal or out for lunch, or you're coming from the hotel.
I was wearing long trousers, was I?
You were, yep.
And what was this woman like? Was she fairly acceptable?
Yeah, oh, she was.
All right, then. And what did we talk about? Were you there on your holidays as well?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice. This is a terrible long time ago.
No, 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's within living memory, then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I'm sorry I didn't recognize you right away. Did you have a golf umbrella with you at that time?
Hardly.
Well, listen, we'll try and get you. No, never mind me. I respect you for being a man who enjoys his golf, and fair play to you. Live and let live, I say. And we have to... if anyone out there repairs golf umbrellas, we urge them to ring here immediately.
That's fine.
And we shall let you know.
Okay.
And I'll see you next time in Tenerife. I'll have a dark-haired one with me next time.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Happy Christmas to you.
Same to you.
That's a lovely song. That's the four of us. That's a song called Hymn to Her from an album called Off the Record. Just off the record, may I say to you that we'll be back here on Christmas morning, on Monday morning. It's a pre-recorded programme. I won't be here. I'll just be playing some music, doing hardly any talking, which will be a great relief to many of you. I'll be on from 11:05 until 12 o'clock on Christmas morning, and we'll be back as usual live in the studio on Tuesday morning, Boxing Day. See, we'll be live here on Tuesday morning, and we'll be on every morning next week. There's a man on the phone here. Good morning, sir. Hello? Oh, sorry. Hello?
Hello, Gerry.
Sorry, I was barking up the wrong tree. Tell me what you have to say now.
Gerry, I work for GOAL, the Third World Relief and Development Organisation, and I'd like to send an invitation to all your listeners to turn up at Stormont on Christmas morning between 10:30 and 12 o'clock.
What's going on there?
Well, we're having a fun charity event, and we're asking the good people of Belfast to walk 1 mile for GOAL in aid of the developing world.
Oh, that's right. I talked to you about this before.
You did indeed, yes.
All right, so that's a good idea to get people out of the house in the morning.
Well, Gerry, there isn't a better way to work up an appetite for the turkey, you see, and then you can put your feet up and have a glass of wine and feel very pleased with yourself.
What time at again?
Between 10:30 and 12 midday, any time between those two times.
They don't have to pay any money or anything,
No,
do they?
you can turn up if you wish to make a donation, absolutely super, but just turn up and park the car and go for a very pleasant walk.
Okay, then. Thanks very much. Hope you have a good crowd there.
We hope so too, Gerry. Thanks very much now.
Happy Christmas to you.
Happy Christmas to you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. There we are.
Why
another
did you
name.
ask that man that you were talking to before, that gentleman there, the last caller?
Yeah.
Why did you ask him, were you wearing shorts? What was the significance of that? Whether or not you were wearing shorts at the time?
Well, I don't like
Could
to
you have
talk
been
about
naked?
this. Well, see, no, the fact is, it would depend on what women I was with. If he told me I was wearing shorts, I'd know what women I was with. There's certain women you wear shorts with.
No, it had nothing to do with women. It's you wearing shorts would jog your memory or not.
Jog? I get it. No, you see, if I was wearing...
you had talked to him.
I mean,
was I wearing shorts at the time?
No, but see, if I was wearing shorts, it would mean that I would know who I was with. See, so certain women you only wear long
nothing to do with the people you were with.
Sean, have a happy Christmas.
And you.
Your present is outside. it's in one of the shops. So nobody's
Blowing
bought it
in the
yet.
wind.
We'll be back on Christmas morning. Have a happy Christmas. Goodbye.